Hello, Games for Change Europe. My name is Benjamin Stokes, and I'm a co-founder of Games for Change here in the United States. Jean-Michel asked me to talk to you a little bit about a report that we launched last month at the Games for Change Festival in New York City, and we're seeking your input. 10 years ago, when I co-founded Games for Change with a number of other people, I think none of us imagined the incredible growth that we've seen in our field. There really have been 1,000 flowers blooming, games in places we would never have expected. Some about crowds, organizing groups of people coming together and tackling scientific problems. Games in health, games in governance that make it easier to run our cities, games that build social capital. So many different kinds of impact with games. And while this is a good thing, it also means that the challenge is harder than ever to try and integrate all of those findings in a way that we can actually use them. It's one thing to write great papers that go into academic journals talking about the impact of games. It's another to talk about whether our games are really improving and building on research findings. So this is a report, and in fact, it's the beginning of a larger project to try and ask, how can we as a field come together and build on the research that we have, as well as the expertise in design that's beginning to gather in so many different areas, so many different disciplines, and say, how does it come together? And can we do a better job working together than we could on our own? In this first report, which was funded by the Packard Foundation here in the United States, we started to look at the language that people use to talk about impact. We found that that language is often fragmented. People were talking about impact in one way in some communities and quite a different way in other communities. Some of this we can get at with better definitions, better concepts, better language, but some of it is also political. Some involves how do we as a field come together and say we need to respect each other's different disciplinary traditions. Your gold standard for research and my gold standard for research can both coexist. So this is an effort to start looking at impact across very different disciplines, in part because games are often at their best when they bring together very different disciplines, and when they tackle social change and social impact at very different levels of granularity. In this first report, which was co-authored with Games for Change and with the Michael Cohen Research Group in New York, we started looking at the number of different ways in which people are talking about our field and the concepts they're using. We would love to hear your ideas. Our website, gameimpact.net, is one place you can go and download the free report, as well as leave your ideas on what we should do next, what else we should be looking at. We would really like to look at the United States, Europe, and other places around the world and look in terms of a global perspective on impact and how it's talked about, as well as across different disciplines. Again, gameimpact.net, and we'd love to hear your thoughts. This is Benjamin Stokes on behalf of the group signing off, and have a great conference.